Level 1. First year analyst. It is 11:43 p.m. on a Tuesday. You haven't left this floor since 8 a.m. The overhead lights are on motion sensors and they turned off an hour ago. You waved your arm to bring them back. You are eating cold sushi from a plastic tray that arrived at your desk at 7 p.m. You haven't looked away from the screen long enough to taste it. You are building slide 34 of a pitch book, a 60-page presentation that a managing director will use to convince a Fortune 500 CEO to hire Morgan Stanley to run his acquisition. The MD will glance at your slide for 8 seconds. You have spent 4 hours on it. You are now adjusting the font kerning on a bar chart by a fraction of a millimeter because the associate told you it looked off. You save version 43. You check the cell formulas in the model underneath it. You check them again. Your base salary is $110,000. You work 100 hours a week. You have done the math on the effective hourly rate. You close the spreadsheet immediately. Your name appears nowhere in the pitch book. You will not be in the room when it is presented. At 2 a.m., the associate sends a new comment. Can we rethink the whole narrative on slides 12 through 20? You type back, on it. You open a blank slide. You are not angry. You are too tired to be angry. Somewhere down the row, another analyst is still at his desk. You make brief eye contact. Neither of you speaks. Level 2. Third year analyst. The floor looks the same. The hours are the same. But something is different, and you know exactly what it is. A first year analyst sits 2 chairs down, looking exactly the way you looked 2 years ago. He has that particular expression, the one where the exhaustion and the ambition have not yet sorted themselves out. You remember it. You have no sympathy. You have work to do. You are staffed on 3 deals simultaneously. You are managing 2 analysts. You are the translator between the senior bankers and the junior staff, and neither side fully trusts you yet. During the day, you quality control the first year's models. You find errors you used to make yourself. You fix them without telling anyone. At night, you run the data room, the secure digital vault where due diligence documents are organized for a live acquisition. It is 3 a.m. Both sides of the deal are reading documents in different time zones. You are in the middle of both of them. For the first time, you are on client calls. Someone on the other end of the phone is treating your words as if they might mean something. It is the first real drug this job has offered you. You understand now why people stay. The offer comes. You made associate. You hang up the phone and go back to fixing the slide deck. There is no party. There is a deal closing in 6 days. You think about the analysts below you going home at midnight while you stay until 3, and you realize the ladder you thought you were climbing is not a ladder. It is a treadmill that gets faster. Level 3. Associate. There is a glass-walled conference room. It is 9 p.m. 2 analysts sit across the table with their laptops open. A VP is on the phone from the back of a car somewhere in Midtown. You are holding a red pen. You are now the one drawing the red lines on the pitch. Your job is to be the machine's quality control. You manage the deal end to end. You set the deadlines, coordinate across groups, make sure the data room is organized, and the timeline holds. You handle your own analytical sections. The valuation bridge, the football field chart, the accretion/dilution table, while simultaneously reviewing everything the analysts produce. Version 38 goes to the VP at 11:47 p.m. You write, updated per your comments. Let me know if anything needs adjusting. You already know something will need adjusting. The VP can rescope the entire pitch at 10 p.m. on a Friday. When he does, you absorb the impact before it reaches the analysts. You take the 2 a.m. call so the first year doesn't have to. You are the buffer. This is not recognized. It is expected. Your base salary is $175,000. If the model is wrong, it is your fault. not the analyst's. Yours. You are simultaneously too senior to ignore the details and too junior to set the strategy. The VP sends 3 words back. Looks good, almost. You open the deck again. Level 4. Vice President. The client's conference room is mahogany and quiet. 6 people sit across the table. The managing director is at the head of it. He is charming the room. He has not looked at his notes once, because you briefed him for 40 minutes in the car on the way over, and he absorbed everything he needed. He is now telling a story about the market. You are on page 7. A client leans forward and asks a technical follow-up that the MD didn't anticipate. He turns to you, just slightly. You answer it cleanly, without notes, because you built the model behind it. The MD nods once. You lead the day-to-day execution of live deals. You direct associates and analysts. You are on client calls now as a matter of course, not as a privilege. You are starting, slowly, to have relationships that belong to you and not to the MD. Your name is on the back page of the pitch book, in small print, below his. Your total compensation is somewhere between $200,000 and $330,000 this year. Inside this building, the VP title is the bottom rung of the officer ranks. There are more VPs than there will ever be executive directors or managing directors. Some people reach this level and stay here for a decade. The new associates coming up below you are hungrier and cheaper every year. The pyramid narrows hard above you, and the only direction that matters now is up. After the meeting, the MD claps you on the shoulder. Good work today. He gets in the black car. You take the subway. Level 5, Executive Director. You have your own office. It is small and glass-walled, but it is yours. There is a Bloomberg terminal on the desk tuned to your coverage sector. On the shelf behind you, there is a tombstone, a small framed deal announcement plaque from a $4.2 billion acquisition you helped close 18 months ago. You don't look at it anymore. You are already thinking about the next one. A CFO called you this morning. Not the MD, you. You pitched him a strategic idea he hadn't thought of yet. A bolt-on acquisition in an adjacent market that would revalue his company by a multiple. He went quiet for 3 seconds. Then, that's interesting. Send me something. You opened your calendar after the call. Friday was already full. You built the deck anyway. You run teams across multiple live deals. You are beginning to originate, bringing in your own business, proposing ideas, taking executives to dinner. The client book forming under your name is the only currency that matters at this altitude. You cost a lot of money. You do not yet have enough clients to fully justify it. This is the riskiest seat in the building. If your MD gets restructured, if your sector goes cold, if 2 deals fall through in the same quarter, the firm will review your line in the budget with the same dispassion it applies to everything else. The MD waiting room has a door that opens both ways. You write the follow-up memo. You send it before midnight. You do not sleep well. Level 6. Managing Director. The restaurant has no prices on the menu. You are in the corner booth. Across from you is a CEO who is deciding which bank is going to run his $8 billion merger. You are not pitching. The pitch happened last week. Tonight, you are talking about his son's lacrosse team and the Federal Reserve and a ski trip you both took to the same mountain in different decades. A glass of wine sits between you. Your phone is face down on the table, on silent. You know it has 19 messages on it. They can wait 40 minutes. He says, "We want Morgan Stanley." You nod as though you expected nothing less. Under the table, you send your ED 3 words. "We got it." Stand up the team. You don't build models anymore. You win the right for other people to build them. Your revenue number is tracked in real time by people above you. The firm knows exactly how much business you generate, down to the dollar. And that number is the only job security that exists at this level. Your total compensation crosses 7 figures in a good year. You have been doing this for 20 years. The dinners, the flights, the early mornings, the relationships cultivated over a decade until the moment they become a mandate. You take the car home at 11 p.m. and read tomorrow's briefing notes in the back seat. You have a breakfast meeting at 7 a.m. You will sleep for 4 hours. This is not unusual. This is every week. Level 7. Operating Committee. You walk into a room and people are already standing. Not because someone told them to. Because you walked in. You sit. They sit. There are 10 other people at this table. All of them are managing directors who became something else. You are now one of them. A division head. A steward of strategy at the institutional level. The slide on the screen shows a $20 billion decision framed as a 2x2 matrix. You look at it for 30 seconds. You say 3 sentences. The room reorients. That is your entire contribution to this meeting. 3 sentences that took 30 years to earn. You set the strategic direction for your division. You decide which markets the firm enters and which it exits. You allocate headcount. You review people, not deals. Who gets promoted? Who gets a platform? Who gets quietly moved out? You represent the firm to regulators, to sovereign wealth funds, to heads of state. You are Morgan Stanley in those rooms, not a banker. The bank. After the meeting, a junior MD stops you in the hallway to pitch an idea. You give him 90 seconds and ask one question. He will remember this conversation for years. You will not remember it by Friday. You manage everything at scale, nothing in detail. The thing that made you good, the closed deal, the client who called you directly, the model that worked, belongs to other people now. You are moving capital and careers across a spreadsheet. You are very good at it. It feels like almost nothing. Level 8. Chief Executive Officer. You are already on the phone before you've sat down. The call is with a finance minister. After that, there is a senator. Then, an earnings briefing with 2,000 analysts listening to every syllable for signals you didn't intend to send. You have not had an unscheduled hour in longer than you can remember. This is not a complaint. Complaint is not a register available to you anymore. You set the firm's total strategic vision. You manage the board, the regulators, the shareholders, 80,000 employees, and the press simultaneously, every day, without visible uncertainty. Every word you say in public is the firm speaking. The two have merged completely. You are not sure exactly when it happened. When you walk into a room, the dynamic changes before you reach the table. Nobody tells you the full truth anymore. Everyone performs for you. The people who knew you before this really knew you when you were still a VP eating a cold desk dinner at midnight. There are fewer of them now than you expected. You cannot walk into a restaurant without it becoming an event. You cannot have a bad day in public. You cannot be wrong out loud. You have climbed the most competitive hierarchy in global capitalism, and you are standing at the absolute top of it, and the view is extraordinary. The cage around it is invisible. You didn't notice it closing. By the time you might have, it already had.